Can I do one more quick announcement, Ben?
Of
I'm just
course,
like
go
looking at
ahead.
my
Yeah.
email here. As we were recording the show, we got an email from our man, Eric, over at the Law School Admission Council.
Ooh, okay,
It is
timely.
an extremely long email with bold and links
Oh,
and
jeez.
headings. But I'll give the punchline.
Yeah.
Given the continuing COVID-19 emergency, we have made the decision to offer the online, remotely proctored LSAT-Flex for the last 3 test administrations in the current testing cycle, instead of the in-person tests previously scheduled. This means the January LSAT, the February LSAT, and the April LSAT will now be delivered in the LSAT-Flex format only.
Surprise.
Then he does the, as you know, and like, you know.
As you know, we've been working hard to help you and get those fee waivers rolled out.
Yeah. Candidates currently registered for those tests may take, you're registered that you're already going to be moved into the Flex, or you can opt out by Friday, November 13th to receive a full refund. If you hate the Flex for whatever reason, I struggle
The
to
only
imagine
reason
what
would
those
be if
reasons
you're
would be.
like extraordinarily good at logical reasoning compared to the other two sections and you just had no hope of recovering. Otherwise, it's a win.
We,
Win, win, win.
There's one student right now in the live class
Yeah.
who, I won't name him. He knows that I love him, but we have like kind of butted heads over because he claims that he is that student, that the Flex is not fair to him because he's much better at logical reasoning and shitty at the games, and the games are now worth slightly more and the LR is worth slightly less. And my, of course, response is, well, get fucking better at the games, and then you won't have to have that. You won't worry about it anymore. You just, because the games are super, super learnable.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I guess, but you got to get on with it. Like, you've been studying for 6 months for the LSAT. You can't withdraw just because it's still Flex.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And apparently score preview is still a thing. Do you have any new thoughts about score preview since we talked about it when it was first announced? I'm thinking that
No,
it may be a
I
little
feel like
less of
this less of a benefit.
yeah, like if people decide not to sign up for that, I'm like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Like, canceling is dumb.
I don't really see the benefit. I guess this is what you were kind of saying. So I've gone through this scenario with people and it's like, look, if your score is really, really low, then maybe you cancel. But you have to know that you're not going to do, or that you definitely are going to do better in the future. Otherwise, it's still of value. And you don't know. You may never even take the test again. So having a score is more valuable than a cancellation.
Yeah, if they let you do it for your second test or your third test, then it could be valuable because you could see the score, compare it to your previous scores, and if it was
And then get rid
lower,
of it.
you could cancel.
The only thing that's funny about that though too is that if you cancel a second test, everyone's going to know you scored lower than your first.
Right.
The
They're going to be like,
advantage is
oh,
you don't.
he might have scored higher and canceled. Yeah, no. They're going to know. It's not a secret. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, but I think it's still better to have a cancel because just no number. I'd rather have no number than like
Then a
pull it
lower
down.
number. Sure.
But yeah,
what
it's
difference
even
does
then
it
it's
make?
like not a huge like benefit. I don't know. The whole thing is just stupid.
Cancel is not in their index formula. Lower scores are not in their index formula. Their index formula uses the highest number. So the truth is, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So sign up for it if you want. Don't sign up for it if you don't want. It's $45. Maybe you could just save the $45. I mean, because that is the real fucked up thing, is that when it's your first attempt, and it's only available for people it's their first attempt, even if it's a 120, it's higher than your highest previous score because you don't have any previous scores. So, you know, whatever.